enough of that all day long, jamming. Welcome back, and we're in the video room. So here's the 4 Fenders that we picked, and I think we just go through them really quickly. Some glorious, really not affordable. For some people,
I mean,
they are affordable.
Not even close for most of us.
Well, you say, what is the Paul Reed Smith always says? There's not a guitar that's too expensive. You just don't want it enough. But you know what I mean, though. If there's a point, you go. If I have to do 1,000 paper rounds, or I'll do it on interest free, whatever. There might be 24 months or something, and you just have to work, and you have to. If you really, 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 really want something,
Yeah, that's true.
That's the thing. You can't just expect it to come to you, can you?
No.
So if you really want
when I was younger,
guitars,
I really wanted a Washburn N4 and spent a long time saving to get it. So
there you go.
I did. I really wanted.
And I had a Les Paul 19. I was lucky to get a 76 Les Paul, which I sold. But that was the same thing. You just do your paper rounds and
desperate.
Yeah, desperate. Anyway, Mr. Mayo over there, what's going on?
Right. Well, it's a 61 C profile neck, isn't it? But it's the fretboard radius is actually 7.5.
7.25.
7.25.
7.25. So it's the standard old-fashioned, and that's we keep debating whether that's a bad or not, or it's too curved or whatever. I say if it's set up right, it's fine. If it's set up right,
you don't really notice.
No.
Like if it frets out, just adjust your setup a bit.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Fret out here, then just play it up there instead.
But it's a medium Relic because obviously there are heavy Relics, non-Relics, and then this is medium.
Yeah, there's 4 of them in total.
Yeah.
At the moment.
I chose this one because it had a really nice flame headstock and neck, unfinished on the back there, where you'd expect to be playing a lot of stuff, I guess. Then you've got the kind of the pearl button tuners, much like the tuners that are on, that particular Strat.
Yeah.
Other than that, I would say it's very much a Strat. 60s voice pickups, I guess. They're the hand-wound Fender custom shop pickups, 60s voicing, so they're going to be spanky and bright.
Links below for that.
But let's have a little listen, shall we?
Let's do it. Yum, yum.
I'm using a lot of reverb.
Yeah, you got the Strymon Blue Sky in the effect loop.
Always Strymon.
Naughty. That's a bright pedal as well.
It is. But you can hear quite clearly that there's a lot of spank, like... And I've rolled off the treble on the amp too.
Let's hear position 2 there. Let's have... Oh, sorry. You're going to go do gain, are you?
I was going to use that with the revival drive in front.
Slow dancing test, position 4.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you know what? It sounds like a Strat.
It sounds like a Strat.
It's a good Strat, Comes with the case and all the stuff, so there you go. Links below for that one. Right, so moving on to this one. This is a mahogany body, Thinline, of course, as you can see. There's a hole there. It's got 2 P90s, hand-wired P90s with 50s wiring in here. Relic. You can see how it looks like the mahogany on a Les Paul almost. It's got that kind of colour in the back, right?
Definitely.
And it's got a roasted maple.
The neck's insane.
The neck's insane on this. I love this white, or the lighter maple stripe down the middle there, and the darkness of the tall narrow frets on here.
Is it a limited edition?
It's a limited edition, yeah. Proper tortoiseshell guard. Look at that, not made of tortoise course, because you can't do that.
No.
But, I like the short sort of ashtray here with the what are these brass saddles. It's Tuesday today, so it's a bit slow. Serial number on this one is CZ or C 554044. So lots of fours. And then, let's see what it sounds like. I love a P90 at the moment. I'm getting into it, you know, so straight into DP40. Why do you wiggle the neck, Pete? Well, that's just a different way of vibrato. It vibrates, isn't it? Middle position. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Spanky. A P90 in the
P90s.
bridge, it's P90s are great. Sometimes if it's in the bridge, it sort of lacks a little bit compared to. But I think it's quite well balanced. You know what I really like about it is that I can take my pinky and I can put it underneath here, and I can and I don't even do it on like it's not even a thing. Here's a stacked Cali 76. The neck on this one is kind of almost a sort of a V shape. What do you think here? It's like, if you feel it, look at that flame on that neck.
Yeah. There's definitely a V going on.
Look at that flame.
It reminds me, I've got a double Esquire Special that feels a bit like that down at the nut.
Yeah. It's kind of slightly V'd.
Yeah.
But I like it. I think it's really good. It feels, and it's a 9.5 inch radius, so it's kind of modern.
Yeah.
But it sounds great, man. It feels like, I just like the whole vibe of it. That it's just a different with the mahogany top. It's not like something you see. So it's a limited edition, so the links below. There's only these one.
I feel like it's 70s vibed. It feels like it came from the 70s.
It feels like a furniture that your grandparents would have in the summer abode, with some curtains with the brown and orange flowers on it. You know.
Absolutely.
And this was sitting on next to the bed, each side, and then there was this, the brown sort of wooden sleeved alarm clock.
Yeah,
do you know with the massive
from the era where all furniture was made from mahogany, right?
Yeah, early 80s or something like that. Hessian. My parents had Hessian as well. I mean, it's not cheap as well. Let me just quickly see the price on this one is $4,000, I believe. Yes, £1 less. So, but I mean, it's a one-off guitar. So when it's wicked, let's see what it does with a Dane. Yeah, that's good. That's the fatness of this.
That's why I like P90s.
Yeah,
it's just a bit fatter than a single coil.
Yeah. Middle position, funk.
Yeah, it sounds great.
It's wonderful guitar.
Yeah.
And super light. I mean, it flies away. Cool. Well, what have you got?
I grabbed the Tele. So we went, I did, as you can see, there's a bit of a pattern going on here. I don't think it was fully intentional, but this is what ended up happening. So
that lacquer is very thin. I can see the wood on that.
Yeah, I know. I actually thought that when I first picked it up, I thought that was a damage, but it's not. It's actually part of the design.
But that's where people hold their fingers like this.
Yeah,
right?
I know, but I don't know.
I do that to mine.
Yeah, but so this is, I guess you'd say, a medium Relic, right?
Well, yeah,
it's a Tele.
I think there's 3 or 4 different. There's NOS, new, and then there's like light, medium, heavy, and then there's super heavy. I think there's like 4 different ones.
This could be heavy then.
It could be heavy, yeah. It could be. And also there's, sorry to interrupt there, but we got 4 of these, I think, and they've got 2 different necks on it. So this one I think is a C, and then there's a U. So there's a slightly fatter one, which is more like a C. This one is the 65 sort of C neck.
It definitely feels like a C. Yeah. A nice. It's pretty good size neck actually for me. Yeah. Not too thin. Basically, black and white telly.
Yeah, classic, man.
It is classic, very classic.
Yeah.
So the specs are exactly the same as Pete's Purple Telly.
Yeah, well, as close as we could get from where because mine was a bit of an enigma.
Yeah.
So, but
that's a good ballpark.
It's the same pickup, so it's got a no-caster in the bridge and it's got a twisted telly in the neck, so you get those kind of, it's almost like a stratty type.
I love the no-caster.
The no-caster in the back, and the twisted telly is also really stratty, And it's got the Gaddon bridge on it, with the the Brits and the
these brass saddles.
It's a ash body with a quarter maple neck with 6105 threads on it, and it's the large C kind of shaped neck. But you also get that in a U, as I mentioned. So
they feel quite tall, these frets.
Yeah, they're tall and narrow, aren't they?
Yeah, so I like that.
I like tall and narrow. I mean, it's just the 6105 is just the preferred, and it's not.
Because I like jumbo frets for the height, not so much the width.
Yeah, they get too wide, right?
Yeah.
And those ones are really good. Yeah, they're great frets. Our jumbos are not too wide for me.
I learned something new just now. 6105 might be the new fret wire for me.
Well, that's the wire that's my preferred fret wire.
Because it's tall but narrow. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so that's the frets.
Mm-hmm. So what is the sound, Ali?
Yeah, so we'll start on the neck.
So, man, that sounds great. Was that the neck pickup?
That was the neck pickup.
Telly in the neck, man. It's just
I went across, but then I went back.
I went across, but then I went back.
That twisted telly is beautiful. I know the no-caster really well because it's in telly that I have, 51 no-caster, and it's a great, angry sounding, that sort of early 50s telly tone.
It just takes the gain. There's something about that sort of first no-caster pickup that just with gain into a gainy amp, like into something like a Kraken or whatever like that, it's angry. It's just a rock tone, and it's like, oh!
Yeah, I really like it.
I love it.
What can I say about this? What a joy to play. And sounds really good.
Yeah.
Like, the thing with a big room full of custom shop guitars is that there are so many to choose from, and they're all going to connect differently with different people, aren't they? Well, out of the ones that I've played today, this is the one that's connecting with me today.
It looks great, man. It looks great. Anyway,
it sounds great.
Let's move on to this beast of a thing.
That looks badass.
It's badass, isn't it? I love double bound Sunburst telly with a black scratch plate on it. Just looks.
That's kick-ass, actually.
It is kick-ass. And it's got a roasted maple neck here, which, if you turn yours around, see, it's not roasted. So what happens is, because the rest is roasted, it's kind of... It's less obvious than that is, how the finishing goes from the lacquered over to the... And this neck just feels beautiful.
Yeah,
it
looks
really
stunning.
Feels nice,
Flamed.
And it's got a humbucker, you can see, in the neck, and it's got a single coil in the bridge, which I'll get to you in a minute. So it's got a rosewood board, just a really thin slab on it, see? And it's a lovely dark rosewood board with the clay dots in it.
That's a killer looking guitar.
It's a killer looking guitar, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so I just had to take my phone out here to double spec check this one, because it's It's got a special pickup here in the neck. It's actually a Josephina hand-wound pickup that's designed by Paul Waller. Not the Paul Waller who works in the shop here, but the Paul Waller who works at Fender. And it says that it double stacks it, or dual stacks telewiring. So I don't know exactly what that means, but it means basically that you've got a 250 and a 500k value pot inside it. So they are wired, so each pot is 250k when using the bridge as a single coil, and then 500 when the neck is engaged. So it's got sort of it's a much, inside it is
variable ohmage.
Exactly. Texas special bridge here. Tall narrow frets, so again the 6105s, compensated brass saddles, bone knot, and vintage style tuners, 2-piece ash body, and a triple A flame maple neck. Triple A?
It's a killer looking guitar.
It is.
I would get that based on its looks.
Yeah, I mean it is not cheap. None of these here are under $4,000. So well, that one is £1 under $4,000. I mean it is
what it is. Inflation.
If you want it, then let's see. Not as high output as it is in that one. I would say the Nocaster's got, but it's nice and round and balanced.
Yeah.
Here's the middle.
You can hear that 50s wiring thing they're on about.
Yeah.
Because they made it, the 50s wiring thing's meant to be less high-end, right?
Yeah, so it's the 250k. I don't know what normally that is. It's the Gibsons that have got 500, and because of the humbuggers, or so obviously when you change between them. Ooh, that is. Because that's one of the things that I've tried some guitars recently with a humbug in the neck.
That's really not bad.
And with the where that just becomes too muddy. So
that's not muddy.
That's not muddy. That's what you want, isn't it? Nice. I mean, I love it. It's this and this just looks amazing.
Do you know what's funny? I'm thinking if you heard that neck pickup on a modern humbucker guitar, you'd be like, it's broken. The pickup.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't sound very high output. It's very like, you got all that high end, but in that guitar, you see a humbucker, you think the opposite until you hear it, and then you're like, actually, that complements that single coil really well.
But that's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice. That's a really nice sounding neck pickup. That is. Almost want to raise this up slightly.
Yeah, so it matches
slightly,
a bit. Yeah.
I feel like there's a little bit of a volume, but you can just screwdrive up with that. Let's see what it does with a bit of gain. That's really. That's the same as I did with the Dame before.
That sounds great.
But it's much more gainy, isn't it? Much more distorted. It's almost like a
I'm really impressed with that.
can you just try it on yours? Because I just want to see what it does with the. Let's swap it. And then see. And then maybe we should just play out actually. So anyway, thank you for watching. Links are below for these beautiful guitars. And of course there is many more of these guitars in our guitar gallery. There's so many. I mean, we can spend days and days and then pick guitars up. They're all good. So make an appointment with Paul and Paul. Then come in and try them out, have a cup of coffee and hang out. And
this is badass.
Please like and subscribe and all that stuff. See you later.